Hal Lindsey and the late great planet Earth. Hal Lindsey is a little different from the other Bible teachers mentioned on this website. At the time of writing, he is still alive and still broadcasting. His contribution has not been so much as to bring new teaching, but to bring together existing prophetic Bible teaching and make it accessible to the general public. His book, The Late Great Planet Earth, opened the world of Bible prophecy to millions of people. The book is particularly remembered for identifying Russia as Gog, and also for identifying Europe as the revived Roman Empire. Russia as Gog. In Ezekiel 38, Gog is mentioned as the leader of Meshech and Tubal, which Hal Lindsey attempts to show are areas of Russia. He uses various sources to identify Meshech as the source for the name of the city of Moscow, and he identifies Tubal as a people dwelling on the Black Sea. He also identifies the Hebrew word Rosh, translated as chief in Ezekiel 38, as being the source of the word Rus, from which we get the name Russia. Hal Lindsey believes that Russia as Gog will lead an end-time alliance of nations listed in Ezekiel 38, 5-6, in an invasion of Israel. He goes through the biblical names of the nations and identifies them with modern nations. Ezekiel chapter 38 verses 5-6, Persia, Ethiopia and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet, Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah of the north quarters and all his bands, and many people with thee. So the following chart attempts to identify what these different names are. So we've seen Gog is identified as Russia, Persia is Iran, Ethiopia represents the African nations, Libya and Put represent the Arabic African nations, Gomer represents what were the Iron Curtain countries when he originally wrote the book, and Togarmah represents southern Russia and the Cossacks. Since the book was published in 1970, there have been many other interpretations of who these nations actually are. Hal Lindsey could be said to be the person who got the discussion going. Europe is the revived Roman Empire. The other point that the late great planet Earth is largely remembered for is its identification of Europe with the revived Roman Empire. Daniel chapter 7 lists 4 beasts that represent 4 empires. Daniel chapter 7 verses 2-3. Daniel spake and said, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, the 4 winds of the heaven strove upon the great sea, and 4 great beasts came up from the sea, diverse from one another. These 4 empires or kings are usually interpreted as follows. The first, that was like a lion and had eagle's wings, is the Babylonian Empire. The next one, another beast, was like a bear and raised itself on one side and had 3 ribs in its mouth. That's regarded as the Medo-Persian Empire. The next one was a leopard, which is regarded as Alexander the Great and the Greek Empire. And the last one, the most terrible one, was different from the others and is regarded as the Roman Empire. The fourth empire, the Roman Empire, is said to have 10 horns in Daniel chapter 7, verse 20. And Hal Lindsey identifies this as a 10-nation confederacy. In his book, Hal Lindsey considered that what was then the European common market would become a 10-nation group. That would be a revived version of the Roman Empire. Since the publication of the book, many people have dismissed Hal Lindsey's interpretation because the European Union has now grown to many more than 10 nations. However, we do also now see that the European has much greater ambitions than to be a simple common market. It now wants to be a superstate with its own army and centralized control. Hal Lindsey's book has come in for a great deal of criticism. However, if you can accept that no one gets everything right in Bible prophecy, then it is still a great place to start in trying to understand about God's plans for the last days. If you're interested in Bible prophecy and want to find more information, you can go to prophecy-workshop.com. Thank you for listening.